So if things look a little different, it's probably because I've got like huge bags under my eyes and my hair is a little... And because I'm in the basement of my new house. Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park. I am a part-time reseller, and if you couldn't tell, I just moved, and it is honestly largely in part to the extra income that I have been earning over the years as a part-time reseller, as a YouTube content creator, as just someone who has a lot of side hustles to her side hustles. So, like, honest to God, if you have ever supported me in any way, whether it's watching one YouTube video, whether it's making one purchase from me, whether it's really anything, like saying an encouraging word to me on Instagram or leaving a nice comment here on YouTube, thank you so much. To be honest, none of this is possible without you. And also, I know that it kind of looks like I'm in a jail cell right now, and that's because I'm in an unfinished part of my basement. I can kind of show you a little bit of what's going on. So here you can see I have some shelves up with my shipping, or with my inventory, and behind the bins, you can't really see it, but I do have a desk where I'm going to start doing my shipping. But we literally moved in not even a week ago. I'm so excited to have this space to call my own and to make it my reselling just heaven as far as getting work done is concerned. I did have to do a lot of work to get it even in the condition that it is now. I had to professionally clean the floors and the walls because there was a lot of just unsavory stuff in here. I'll just leave it at that. But I'm so excited to start decorating and just making it beautiful and not like I'm in jail. So behind me, this is where I'm going to set up just like a little studio area. There's going to be like a chair and a rug, and this is going to be the area that I film my hauls. And then where I'm sitting right now is where I will film any like what sold videos and any sort of like teaching type videos, which I like to do a lot of. So I'm just really excited. Let me know what you think of the jail cell. But like I said, hopefully in the next coming videos, you'll see that things are starting to get added to the space, and you get to see it at basically ground zero. Like, you get to see it when it is a completely blank slate, and it's super exciting. But today's video is a what sold video, and I know some of you have commented and let me know that you're not a fan of the fact that I am still talking about sales from way back in February, and I totally get it. I am going to get caught up. That's the goal. Like, I basically am just chugging through these what sold videos until I get caught up, and there will be weeks when I talk about 2 weeks in one video, but basically I'm just putting out like a video a day of all of these until I get caught up, and the plan is to get caught up and then finally get to a place where I'm talking about recent sales in these videos. So I know it's kind of annoying, and I know I could just skip over them. It's like my OCD doesn't want me to, and also just, I don't know, it's almost like for my own records as well. So if you don't want to hear about sales in February, I will not feel bad if you skip out, but also I think a lot of the things that I want to talk about are things that would sell even now because they're just that good. So in this week, we're going to be talking about, does bulk offers to likers on Poshmark work? And I know a lot of us are kind of in a desperate state when it comes to Poshmark because it has been slow. Like, today is April 6th that I'm filming, and it has been slow. And I've seen a lot on Instagram about people saying how slow Poshmark is and how concerned they are. So it has been rough, and you may be, wanting to turn to somewhat drastic measures, and one of those measures may be, should I try offers to likers in bulk using the My Shoppers or My Closet feature on Poshmark? I did that on February 20th, which was a Monday, and I'm going to share my results with you now, as well as everything else that sold for me in this week. So just to kind of summarize, it did work. I think it was pretty successful. I believe I sent out 25% off offers, which is not the biggest offer that I've ever sent, but I sent out 25% off offers because I was comfortable with that and felt like I could, possibly move some things, and I absolutely did. So the reason I did it is because Monday, February 20th was President's Day. It is a holiday that people traditionally associate with, big sales and lots of shopping, and I wanted to jump on that bandwagon. So as a result, I had, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 Poshmark sales in one day. So that felt really, really good. So the first thing to sell on Poshmark, I don't even think was part of the big offers to likers that I did. It was actually a bundle sale. It was 2 items that sold in a bundle. The first item was this Susan Graver pink ruffle sleeve woven knit blouse top in a women's size small. This I actually got from a local reseller who, for personal reasons, decided to stop reselling. And as a result, she reached out and asked if, I'd be willing to buy all of her inventory off of her. I said yes, because why not? And, she was local to me. She was nearby. So she came over one day with bags and bags of goodies. I have sold through the majority of it because the majority of it was actually really good. I just have a few things left over, this being one of them. And I only had $1.02 into this. Susan Graver is not typically a brand that I pick up when I'm at the thrift store. In fact, I don't think I ever have, and I don't know that I ever will. I think there is definitely a market for it, but not when it comes to the goal that I've set for myself when it comes to items that I source. I'm trying to source items that will net me at least a $20 profit, and I don't know that Susan Graver is going to do that for me. That's just me though, you do you. But yeah, Susan Graver is not on my list of brands that I source to resell. The next item in this bundle is another brand that I leave behind more often than I pick it up. In fact, again, I don't think I've ever picked it up, and I can't see myself picking it up in the future. But it was this new with tags Kim Rogers short sleeve pleated palm peach dress in a women's petite large. I got this in a mystery, what do they call it? A micro bale from America's Thrift Supply. America's Thrift Supply, I think, is a thrift store chain, maybe more like in the South, I think people had said. They reached out and asked if I'd be willing to unbox a micro bale of dresses and a box of, I think they called it either luxury denim or designer denim, something along those lines. I did the unboxing. I'll link it right here. Both were awful. Both the box of dresses and the denim, it was awful. But this dress was in that box. To be honest, the majority of that box I tried to sell at like a pop-up consignment sale in my town. I just, tried to move stuff for really cheap. I donated a lot of it. This one I did end up listing mainly just because it was new with tags. So both of these items sold for $30 with discounted shipping because I sent an offer to the person who would like both of those items. And so I made a net profit of $20.30. I don't make a huge number of bundle sales, but when I do, it's because of just a few strategies that I have when it comes to bundling on Poshmark. I do have a video about that, so I will leave that right here if you want to learn more about how to make more bundle sales. And I do believe that what happened was I saw that someone had liked both items. I put them in a bundle for the buyer, and I sent them an offer with discounted shipping as well as a little message. And I did offer a pretty great deal, $30 for 2 items, and that's because I wasn't super excited about either of them and I didn't see them selling for very much. So I made a net profit of $20.30 on those 2 items. The next sale was much more exciting. And this was a result of my bulk offers to likers. This was a pair of Jacob Cohen limited edition blue slim luxury jeans in a size 34 by 34. I believe they were either made in Italy or made of Italian fabric. These sold for $97. I had $6 into them from a local Plato's Closet, and I made a net profit of $69.88. So Plato's Closet was having one of their, maybe it was 50% off or 75% off sales. I was going through the jeans section. That's one of the sections that I always go through when I'm at Plato's. And these caught my eye because the back of them were very ornamental. There was a lot going on the back. The back label was just really intense. So I remember I moved it down so I could look at the back of the label as the jeans were still on the rack, and I started looking up comps. And as I was doing that, another customer came by, pulled the jeans out and started looking at them. And by that time, I had comps pulled up and was seeing that they were really great. So I inwardly was freaking out that this girl was going to walk away with them. Thankfully, after looking at them for what felt like an hour, but was probably 30 seconds, she put them back on the rack. I snatched them up so fast and threw them in my cart and ran, to the other aisle. But I did, managed to snag them. I had never heard of the brand before, but it seems to be a brand that retails for a ton. I want to say these jeans retail for at least $300, maybe $400, and the resale value is pretty decent. It's a little all over the place. There are some pieces that have sold for not very much, and then some that have sold for, over $100, $200. These I got $97 for. I was very happy with that, and I, like I said, made a net profit of $69.88. The next sale was by another great brand. The brand is Universal Standard. This is a brand that is very size inclusive. They're all about body positivity. So they have, sizing that'll say small, medium, large, but their small is a different small than what you typically find at any other clothing store. So you do have to make sure if you pick up a piece by Universal Standard that you look at their size guide. I forget what size this was according to Universal Standard, but when you look at their size guide, this was a US 14-16, but it was this black Katie, that was the style name of the dress, kimono dress, and I just also put the word classic in the listing title. This dress I had purchased at a local consignment store, and I had, I had $5 into it, but it sat in my death pile for so long because when I got it home, I noticed that the sleeves had gotten unraveled, the hem was gone. Someone had unstitched it, or I don't know, it had come undone. I don't know what had happened. So I had every intention of getting it fixed, although I'm not a seamstress. I wouldn't have known how to do it myself. I really need to learn how to sew. If you guys know of any good YouTube channels that teach you how to sew really easily, please let me know. But my mother-in-law is a wonderful seamstress, so I saved it for her, and maybe a year and a half after I picked up the dress, I finally got it to her. She fixed it for me within 45 seconds, and I was able to list it. It sold for $55. I had $5 into it, like I said, and after discounted shipping and my cost of goods, my net profit on that dress was $37.28 dress. That was my very first time finding that brand, and since then I have found it a few more times. I do think that dresses like this are definitely going to give you the most money compared to things like sweaters or jeans, and so I'm very happy that I finally got that listed and got it sold. The next thing to sell was this pair of vintage Lands' End pink plaid high-waisted Bermuda shorts in a women's 10 regular. They sold for $13 with discounted shipping. They came from the same reseller who just wasn't going to resell anymore, so I only had $1.02 into those, and I made a net profit of $7.31. This is another classic example of I would never pick these up, but they ended up in my house because I got them in a lot, and so I went ahead and listed them, made a little bit of money, and now I can put that money into better inventory. It's not the $20 profit that I'm looking to make, but I was okay with listing it and just moving it, making a little bit of money on it, and just making as much as I could on that initial investment in regards to how much I paid for that lot in the first place. The next thing to sell was this Chico's 100% linen floral snap button-up shirt in a Chico's size 2, which is a US size large. So Chico's is another brand that uses what they call vanity sizing. You see size 2 on a garment and you typically think that's a size extra small. Not in Chico's. So it's really important to know which brands use vanity sizing. So Chico's is an example. We talked about Universal Standard. Torrid does vanity sizing to some degree, although theirs is a little bit easier to figure out. They'll say size 3, but that means 3X, or size 1, and that means 1X. Let me know down in the comments, and for everyone else's sake, if you can think of any other brands off the top of your head that use vanity sizing. Right now, I can't seem to think of any others, but it is important to know what they are so that you're not putting the wrong size in your listings. But this sold for $19. That was the offer that I sent out through the bulk offers to likers. I had $2 into this because I got it from another reseller who realized, about a year into reselling that she really hated reselling clothes. So I bought her inventory off of her. It was a lot of stuff that I would never have picked up myself. I'm still working through it, and that's why I made the decision in the year 2023 not to, purchase other people's inventory. Truth be told, I feel like I'm going to be listing this stuff all the way through the end of the year. So, I'm still going to make money, but it's not going to be as enjoyable as if I were to pick out all of my own inventory. So that's what I'm going to be doing, especially once I get through listing all of the stuff that came in this lot. But I did make a net profit of $11.48, and I can put that into buying some more exciting things than stuff like Chico's button-up shirts. The next sale is something that I picked out myself, and it still did poorly. So that's not to say that every single thing I purchased to resell is a home run, but also like I should have known better than to pick up this dress. It was by Land's End, and it was this rust-colored ribbed half-sleeve dress in a women's size medium. This sold for $19, so the same amount as that Chico shirt I just talked about. I had $6.67 into this from a local consignment store. I don't know. I just thought it was like very nice. Like, and it's not like I don't know, maybe I would wear it actually if it were in my size. I don't know. I don't know why I felt like I needed to get this dress. Land's End isn't necessarily like the best brand out there. It is a pretty decent brand when it comes to outerwear, but like dresses, I don't think you need to be picking up Land's End dresses, especially not for $6.67. I made a net profit of $6.81. Now I know. I just gotta leave that behind. The next thing to sell was by the brand Jules. You guys, am I saying that right now? I think I am. This brand comes up in a lot of my What Sold videos, and in every single What Sold video, I cannot pronounce the name of this brand. I think it's Jules. Jules. I think so. But it is the Maeston style striped velour funnel neck pullover sweater in a size 6. This sold for $22. I had $1.02 into it from the local reseller who didn't want to resell anymore, so I made a net profit of $14.86. I really like that. I think I had it priced up a little too high because I liked it so much. Was it my size? And then it was probably a little big for me. I would have kept that if it were my size. I really liked the colors on it. I liked how soft it was because it was like that velour fabric. And because I priced it too high, it sat around in my closet for forever, and then I let go of it for cheaper than I probably had to. But you know, you live and you learn. Just because you like it does not mean that the rest of the world will agree with you. The next thing to sell was this Columbia Omni Shield Sun Protection gray button-up shirt in a size large. This sold for $16. I had $2 into it from the reseller who realized she didn't like to sell clothes, and so I made a net profit of $8.68. Columbia button-up shirts, these are just things that, in my personal opinion, are not worth picking up. There are so many listed on all reselling platforms, and they're listed for like $15. So the chances of yours being better than anyone else's and worth more than $15 is just so, slim to none. I'm lucky that I was able to move this for $16. I don't know. They're just not really worth it in my opinion. But if it's one of those things where like your husband wears these shirts all the time and, he moved up or down a size and you just have a ton of them, sure, list them. They'll sell, but they're going to sit for a little bit and you're not going to make that much money on them. The next thing to sell was this pair of Chico's white 100% linen pull-on pants in a Chico size 3, which is a US size extra large. These sold for $22. I did pick these up at a local consignment store during their birthday sale because I knew I was going to be paying by the bag. And so my average cost of goods for that particular trip was $2.52. I made a net profit of $13.36. And really the only time that I will pick up Chico's is when it's linen, and their dresses can do well if they're really modern, like, within like the last year or two, and if there's like a lot going on with the dress. If it's really simple, I usually leave it behind, but Chico's dresses can do really well. So that was everything that sold for me on Poshmark as a result of me sending out offers to likers. I like to think that that was pretty successful. I thought I did pretty well with that. So let me know down in the comments below what your experience has been with the bulk offers to likers features on Poshmark. Obviously, the higher of a discount you offer, the more you're probably going to make. That's just how it goes, right? But I was really happy with the sales that I had that day. I desperately needed it, and it definitely helped me do a little bit better for the week than I had been doing weeks prior. And I think that was part of my motivation as to why I even decided to, send out offers to likers in the first place in bulk, is because if you've been watching my What Sold videos, you know that they have been so stinky. Like, I just was not making very many sales, making very much money, and I just needed a little push, and this was it. So I did have another sale on that Monday, and it was over on eBay. I sold this Eileen Fisher brown 100% linen long sleeve V-neck dress in a women's size medium. I was also running a sale on eBay. I want to say maybe like a 20% sale. So that dress sold for $45.49. This came from yet a different reseller who I bought a pallet of clothing off of because she just had too much inventory. So she asked me if I'd be willing to purchase, maybe it was like a half pallet or a pallet. I said yes. This was definitely definitely one of the better pieces in that palette. So I had $3.92 into each item that I purchased from her, and I made a net profit on that dress of $29.70. On Tuesday, which was February 21st, I had one sale, and it was on Kidizen. So as you know, I just moved, and so like February and March, it was just like packing time and purging time. And we were just trying to get as organized as possible. And one of the first places that we tackled was the playroom. And if you didn't know, in our old house, the playroom doubled as the reselling space, which is why I'm so happy to have this space here that is all mine. Literally on the other side of this wall is the playroom. But as we were purging the playroom, there were a few things that I was like, you know what? Let me just list this really quickly and see if anything comes of it, because it would be nice to, you know, maybe make a few bucks on some of these things rather than just donating everything. And so I went ahead and listed this. It was this Fisher-Price Little People nativity scene with music. It played Away in a Manger if you pressed a button on the top. This was something that I believe had been gifted to my kids from parents at a school that I used to teach at. So it was really sweet, but you know, my kids are a little bit older now. They're 9 and 5, and they're not really into this kind of stuff. This is really for like little toddlers, little babies. And so I went ahead and listed it on Facebook Marketplace, eBay, Poshmark, Kidizen. It sold that night on Kidizen, which is really cool because I feel like Kidizen sales are kind of hard to come by, but literally only took 24 hours. It sold for $17.95. I did offer to pay for shipping because that's what I do on Kidizen, and so I made a net profit of $7.42 on that, which, you know, given the fact that that was going to go to Goodwill anyway, that was really cool to make a little bit of extra money towards our move, towards new inventory, towards what have you, and that felt really good. That is one of the reasons why I love List Perfectly. List Perfectly is a program that I use to cross-list super quickly. Like you heard me say, I listed that nativity set on 4 different platforms, and it took me under 4 minutes to get them up on those different platforms. That's how easy List Perfectly makes it. And to be honest, I didn't think that this would sell on Kidizen that quickly. I thought it would sell on eBay or maybe even Facebook Marketplace locally, but instead it sold on Kidizen. Sometimes you can't guess where something is going to sell, and so it's nice to have, you know, the same item up on a multitude of platforms so that you can get as many eyes on that item, and hopefully the right set of eyes, you know, the person who's going to actually buy the item from you. So that's why I love cross-listing with List Perfectly. It also helps me keep track of my inventory, and if you want to try it out yourself, I do have a coupon code so that you can save 30% off of your first month, and that coupon code is BECKYPARK. And if you ever have any questions about List Perfectly, feel free to reach out. I will answer any questions that you have about List Perfectly, because I really feel like it is one of the things that helps me stay sane as a reseller. It just helps me stay organized, and I use it every single day. So let me know if you have any questions, but I do love List Perfectly, and it really is the reason why I made that sale as quickly as I did. Moving on to Wednesday, which is February 22nd, I only had one sale on this day as well, and it was this pair of Crocs. They were these gray Sanra, I don't even know what I wrote, but that was the style name. Flip-flop sandals. They were like wedges, if you will. I also put the words like comfort and neutral in the listing title because I had the space. Why not? They sold for $18. I had $2.39 into them from a local Goodwill. They were, you know, the color of the week that day, and so I got them for super cheap. And so I made a net profit of $12.01. That's not the $20 profit that I'm looking to make, but I knew that they would sell pretty quickly. Crocs is just one of those brands that people love. Like, I get it. I am actually, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to show you these. I am wearing like the ugliest pair of Crocs that I have ever seen. I got these at, I think I got them at Goodwill with every intention of selling them because I was like, these are disgusting, but they are so comfortable. I never wear these out in public because it's so embarrassing, but these are going to be my basement reselling space shoes from now on because they're amazing. They're so comfortable. So I get it. They don't sell for a ton, but they sell pretty quickly. And if you like those fast flips, Crocs will usually do it for you if you price them right. Thursday, which was February 23rd, Zero sales. This has been a common thread for the last few weeks where I have at least one $0 sales day. But on Friday, which was February 24th, on Poshmark, I sold this pair of new with tags, Rue 21 G Black low rise slim straight jeans in a men's size 34. These sold for $22. I got them in a men's ThredUp rescue box. I would never pick up Rue 21. It's just not a great store. The resale value is low because the retail price on these things are low. And so, I would never pick it up myself, but it came to me in a men's ThredUp rescue box. I had about $3 into it. I made a net profit of $14.60, and those were listed for well over a year, well over 2 years. I don't even know. For too long. The next thing to sell was over on eBay, and it was a much better pair of pants. It was this pair of flax gray 100% linen pull-on pants in a size small. I did put the word login look in the listing title. Login look means that they have like a layered look. They're usually a little bit oversized. A lot of times, login look is in neutral colors. They had an elastic waist and they looked so comfy. These sold for $31.98. I did have a sale running that day, which is why they sold for less than what they were listed for. I had $9.23 into those because I picked them up at a pop-up consignment sale that happens in my town twice a year. I love selling flax. I don't find it very often, but when I do, I will pay maybe around $10 for it, up to about $10. So I made a profit of $19.81 on those and was very happy with that. On Saturday, which was February 25th, on Poshmark, I had another Eileen Fisher sale. This was a gray alpaca and merino wool blend button-up cardigan sweater in a women's size 1X, which was excellent. A lot of things going for this cardigan. First of all, the alpaca and merino wool blend, amazing. Anytime you can find clothing in higher quality fabrics, that's always going to give you the ability to raise your selling price on any given item because you're working with more expensive materials. Also, this was in a bigger size, which we love to see, especially in brands like Eileen Fisher. So this sold on Poshmark for $52. That is something that came to me in the wholesale pallet from the reseller who had too much inventory on her hands. So I had $3.92 into that, and I made a net profit of $37.68. I did hold on to that for longer than I thought I would, but I'm happy with the profit that I made and happy that that finally went to a new home. The next Poshmark sale was this pair of Crazy 8 adjustable waist dark wash skinny jeans in a youth size 12. Crazy 8 is not a children's brand that I recommend picking up. It's, again, not very expensive retail to begin with. So you're not going to get a lot for it when it comes to reselling, clothes by that brand. But I was able to sell these for $12 and I made a net profit of $9.05. I got that for free from someone at my church for my daughter, but she's like 9 now and size 12 is way in the future. Again, we were trying to declutter, we were trying to get rid of stuff, so I just went ahead and listed them and was happy to make that sale and move them out versus holding on to them until my daughter was able to fit into them. The next sale was another Columbia sale. It was this Omni Wick colorful V-neck striped athletic tank top for women in a size medium. I was surprised to even sell this for $13 because I feel like I'm pretty lucky to have been able to do so. That came from the reseller who had too much clothing and sold me a pallet. So I had $3.92 into it and I made a net profit of $6.13. And this is why I don't pick up Columbia at the thrift store. On eBay, I sold this All Saints Limor. Limor was the style name. Gray wool blend ribbed crew neck sweater in a men's size small. I got this at Plato's Closet during their 50% off sale. I did pay $12.83 for this just because All Saints can do really well. I've heard All Saints for men can do really well, but this was a pretty basic piece and it did have a little bit of pilling. I did take a sweater shaver to it, but truth be told, I need a new sweater shaver. Like I take my sweater shaver and I go over the item and I'll work on, a spot for a minute or so and I'll look and the spot looks exactly the same. So I think I just need to invest in a better sweater shaver. If you have any recommendations, please let me know down below. I don't think you can leave links because people kept leaving unsavory links for unsavory sites. And so I just like blocked all links, but just kind of tell me the name of your favorite sweater shaver and I'll look into them because I do desperately need one. This sold for $30, so I made a net profit of $13.54. But thankfully that was only listed for like maybe a month or two. So not a horrible flip as far as how long I had to sit on the item. I do think I will try to pick up more All Saints for men in the future as well. And women. Oh my God, All Saints for women as well too. The next sale was this Coach Signature Gallery Classic Logo Print Tote or shoulder bag. I used all of those words in the listing title: tote, shoulder bag, purse, all the things. But this sold for $42.49 because I had a 15% off sale on eBay. I actually got this in Seattle when I went to visit my parents last summer. One of our really good family friends lives in Seattle as well, and so we always spend a lot of time with him when we go. And his wife had just gotten this bag from someone in her family, and she was like, I'm never gonna use it, like just take it and resell. So that's what I did. I brought it home with me from Seattle, listed it, and it sold. Now, I'm not sure why this is. It's saying that my net profit was $24.35. I don't know why it's so low, especially given the fact that I didn't have any money into that, but maybe I paid for shipping. I don't know. I don't know what happened there, but that was my net profit, $24.35. And then on Sunday, which was February 26th, you guys, we're almost in March, but on Poshmark, I sold this new without tags Talbot's pink curvy Bermuda career shorts in a women's size 12. They were high-waisted, and I did pick that up at a local consignment store. I love selling Talbots. I am unapologetic about it. I think it does really well. These sold for $25, which was my full asking price. I had $2.52 into those from that birthday sale at a local consignment store, and so I made a net profit of $17.48. I mean, I don't necessarily recommend picking up things like Bermuda shorts from Talbot's unless you're getting it at the bins or something like that. But I knew that like February, March, April, people are buying shorts, you know, so even if they have to pay up a little bit for them, I feel like a lot of people don't know that you can list shorts as early as February and March because people are looking for them even that early. So there's usually not that many listed, and then if you are one of the few to have, you know, a lot of shorts up at that time, people have no choice but to pay a little bit more because there's just not as many to choose from. So I was happy with that sale, and oh God, I love me some Talbots. The last sale of the week that we'll talk about is on eBay, and it was this Wrangler blue plaid pearl snap button-up western shirt in a men's 2XL. This sold for $21.24. Again, I had a 15% off sale running on eBay. I had $2 into this because it was from the reseller who doesn't like to resell clothes, and so I made a net profit of $16.42.
I was in such a rush to thank all of you that I forgot to share my numbers for the week, so here they are. Sales on Poshmark, eBay, and Kidizen for a net profit of $398.55 for the week.
As you can see, I would say the majority of what I sold this week was stuff that I didn't source myself. It was stuff that I purchased off of other resellers as part of pallets or lots. And while I wouldn't say that they were awful experiences because I'm making sales, I'm making money, and I'm actually learning about a lot of really cool brands and stuff and cool styles, you know, it's not as much fun to sell things that you're not excited about, that you didn't find yourself. And that's why I really want to get back to my roots when it comes to reselling. I want to like get back to, you know, just going through the racks at thrift stores and being so excited about finding a brand that's been on my BOLO list forever, or, you know, learning about a new brand. There is a similar excitement that comes from purchasing mystery boxes or buying inventory off of other resellers, but it's just not the same. And there's a little bit more pride when something that you picked sells well because you're the one that found it and you did the research to know that this was something worth picking up. And so I'm excited to kind of get back to that, but first I have to do the responsible thing and list everything that I have in my home. I lugged a lot of crap from my old house to this house, a lot of unlisted inventory. In fact, a few of my friends who were helping me move, they were helping me bring stuff down the stairs into the basement after we got it cleaned, and they were like, why you got so many boxes of unlisted inventory? And I was like, I know, I'm like the worst reseller. But the goal is once I get my photo box, which is going to go right there, I'm going to get one of those like bigger ones because obviously the space has no natural light. So I have to get one of those larger photo boxes or light boxes that you can hang clothing in and photograph inside of. Once I get that, the goal is to get through all of that inventory that I purchased off of other resellers. In the meantime, I will still be sourcing myself as well and sourcing inventory that I'm excited about. I'll still be doing thrift hauls right over here in my new filming area once I get that furnished and ready to go. You guys, it's coming together. I'm so excited. I am very tired because I'm pulling long nights to get everything set up and get everything cleaned up and all of those things. But I am excited to be in this new space. It's really just like invigorating and motivating, and it makes me dream all the things and believe that all of the things are possible. I don't know, I'm just excited. So thank you for being along for the ride. Thank you for seeing it right now in its blank slate stage. I'm so excited to transform it in front of your eyes and just kind of allow you to watch this space evolve. So thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And if you want to see what becomes of this space, don't forget to hit subscribe so that all of those fun videos show up on your YouTube feed. Just thank you. Thank you for helping make this a possibility. None of this truly is possible without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.